YouTube channel Master of Biology. In last video, we learnt about asexual reproduction in organisms. In this video, we are going to learn about sexual reproduction in organisms. So what is sexual reproduction? It involves the formation and fusion of gametes. Gametes of two individuals of the opposite sex. It is the formation and fusion of male and female gamete by two individuals of the opposite sex, right? So that is called sexual reproduction. Here the offsprings produced are not identical. The offsprings produced are not identical, and almost all organisms have a similar pattern of reproduction. So I told you three things. So first thing is male and female gametes are produced by two individuals of the opposite sex. Two individuals of the opposite sex. Secondly, the offspring are not identical. Offsprings are not identical. And number three, they have a similar pattern of reproduction process. So basically, you should know about these factors about sexual reproduction. So it involves the formation and fusion of male and female gametes produced by two individuals of opposite sex. Secondly, offsprings are not identical, whereas in asexual reproduction, they are identical. Here it is not identical. They show variation. Then there is similar pattern of reproduction among organisms, right? Now you will be seeing different phases in sexual reproduction. So sexually reproducing organisms will exhibit three phases. Sexually reproducing organisms will exhibit three different phases. They are juvenile phase, reproductive phase, senescent phase. So different phases in sexual reproduction. The organism will exhibit three different phases: juvenile phase, reproductive phase, senescent phase. So let us see one by one. In juvenile phase, it is defined as the period between birth and sexual maturity. The period between birth and sexual maturity. In case of plants, it's called vegetative phase. In case of plants, it's called vegetative phase. Okay. So, the end of juvenile phase or vegetative phase is the beginning of reproductive phase. The end of juvenile phase or vegetative phase is the beginning of reproductive phase. So now we'll be learning about reproductive phase. Reproductive phase. Okay. So here, see, some plants will produce flowers seasonally. For example, bamboo. It will flower once in its lifetime, say 50 or 100 years. Okay, I repeat, there are some flowers which will blossom only once in its lifetime. For example, bamboo, 50 to 100 years. And there is another plant by name Strobilanthus kunthiana. This is the binomial of the flower Neela Kurunji. This is the common name Neela Kurunji, and the binomial is Strobilanthus kunthiana. This will flower once in 12 years. So this will flower once in 12 years. So those who are seeing this, please make a note. It's an important one mark question. Strobilanthus kunthiana. You have to remember this name. The common name is Neela Kurunji. Okay. So what I said is, in case of plants, some flowers are seasonal, whereas in some plants, the flowers continue to be there, and we saw some exceptions. Okay, one is bamboo. I told you it will flower once in 50 or 100 years, and similarly, there is another plant called Strobilanthus kunthiana, which will bring forth flower once in 12 years. Okay, one more thing. In case of sexually reproducing organisms, especially in case of placental animals, they exhibit some cyclic changes in their ovaries, accessory ducts, and also in the production of hormones. I repeat, in case of female placental animals, during reproductive phase, they show some cyclic changes in their ovaries, accessory ducts, and also in the production of hormones. And based on that, here we are going to see two kind of cycles. So first thing is, just differentiate. First one is menstrual cycle, and the other one is oestrus cycle. Menstrual cycle, oestrus cycle. Okay. So two types of cycles are there. Menstrual cycle, it is seen in primates. That is monkeys, apes, and man. So it occurs in all primates, monkeys, apes, and man. Oestrus cycle occur in non-primates. Example, cow, deer, dog, sheep. So all these exhibit oestrus cycle. Okay, second point in menstrual cycle. So see here, menstrual cycle will occur in primates, that is monkeys, apes, and man. Oestrus cycle will occur in non-primates like cow, deer, dog, and sheep. Second difference, this is a very long phase, okay, consisting of three phases, okay. One is menstrual, okay, and the second is proliferative, okay, menstrual phase, proliferative phase, and secretory phase. So it's a very longer process. Here it is very short cycle. No such types are there. It's very short. Okay, just a short cycle. Oysters, the animals that come under oysters will exhibit a shorter cycle. Okay, now next point. In this menstrual cycle, there is blood flow. Blood flow is seen in this cycle. Third point. In oyster cycle, blood flow is not seen, whereas in menstrual cycle, blood flow is seen. Okay. So that is about the reproductive phase. Then comes the senescent phase. Okay, juvenile phase, reproductive phase, senescent phase. In senescent phase, it is the end of reproduction phase. The organisms becomes old due to age, and it leads to death. Okay. End of reproductive phase. End of reproductive phase. Organisms becomes old due to age and leads to death. So this is senescent phase. Okay. Yes. So under different phases of sexual reproduction, we saw about three phases: juvenile phase, reproductive phase, and senescent phase. Right. Now let's learn about events that occur in sexual reproduction. So actually three kinds of events will occur. One is pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. So these are the events that occur under asexual reproduction: pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. And in this video, I'll talk about pre-fertilization. Pre-fertilization, as the name tells, the events that occur prior to the fertilization. What all will happen before fertilization? Okay, prior to fertilization, what happens? That's what we are going to see. So under pre-fertilization, we'll be seeing about gametogenesis, okay, gametic transfer, the cell division in gametes, gametic transfer. So, at the pre-fertilization stage, we are going to talk about gametogenesis, cell division that leads to gametogenesis, and gametic transfer. So gametogenesis. Genesis means formation. Okay. So formation of gametes. Formation of gametes is called gametogenesis. Okay. So regarding the gametes, you know that there is a male gamete and female gamete. Two gametes will be produced, male and female. And I'm going to introduce some of the terms. One by one you'll see that. As the name suggests, homogametes, where gametes appear similar. Okay, their appearance is similar. It's called homogametes, also known as iso. Iso means identical, homo means same. Okay, where the gametes are same. The male and female gamete are same in appearance. Okay, the male and female gamete same in appearance. Example in algae. In algae called cladophora, male and female gamete will be the same. So we cannot differentiate which is male, which is female. Both are same. So example algae, and one example of algae is cladophora. So this is called isogametes or homogametes, right? Then heterogametes. Hetero means different. Okay, the gametes look different. Okay, you can also call it as anisogametes. Anisogametes. The gametes look different. So two different gametes, male and female gametes, differ in their appearance. Okay, like in case of plants, androzoid and ovum. Okay. Okay. So androzoid and ovum. So they look different. They are dissimilar gametes. Dissimilar gametes are called heterogametes. Even in case of man, sperm and the ovum, they are different. Okay. So heterogametes means they are not similar. Okay, in some of the primitive plants, algae, bryophyte, algae, bryophyte, and fungi and all, actually the gametes, the sex organs will occur in the same thallus. Okay, such condition is called homothallic. In primitive plants like alga, fungi, bryophytes, sex organs occur in the same thallus, same plant body. That is called homothallic. Okay, it is also known as monoecious. Again, this condition can be called as bisexual, where male and female sex organs are present in the same organism, same plant. Male and female sex organ present in the same organism. Example, in bryophytes, the male part is called antheridium. The female part is called archegonium. So both male and female part will be present in the same plant body. So such condition is called homothallic. Other name for homothallic is monoecious. Mono means one. In one organism, two sex organs. That is the meaning. Very commonly it can be called as bisexual. Okay. Then we have some bisexual plants also like coconut, cucurbita. These are all examples for bisexual plants. Coconut and cucurbita are examples for bisexual plants. Okay, so homothallic, the same thallus, both sex organs are present. Monoecious, again the same mono means single. In single plant or single organism, both the sex organs are present. Examples for bisexual organism, see coconut and cucurbita as an example. Okay. However, in all primitive forms of plants like alga, fungi, and bryophytes, you can see this kind of bisexual condition. Next is heterotallic. This condition is also called dioecious. Okay, heterothallic, dioecious, where sex organs occur in two different organisms. Okay, so there will be a separate plant having a male sex organ and another plant having female sex organ. That condition is called heterothallic or dioecious, and the condition is said to be unisexual. The condition is said to be unisexual. Okay, in pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Okay, the higher order organisms follow this pattern where there is a separate male and female plant having their respective organs. It's called heterothallic, dioecious, or unisexual. In case of unisexual example is regarding plants, we can have this papaya, okay, papaya, date palm are examples of unisexual plants. Okay, in case of higher order plants, angiosperms, we have papaya and date palm for unisexual. Otherwise, this kind of heterothallic is also seen in pteridophytes, gymnosperms, and angiosperms. One more thing. In case of animals, there also we have bisexual organisms. Where male and female reproductive organs are present in the same. Example, earthworm, tapeworm, sponges. In all these cases, the same organism, both the sex organs will be present. Earthworm, tapeworm, sponges. In all these cases, both the sex organs are present in the same organism. Coming to the unisexual, one more term for bisexual is bisexual animals can also be called as hermaphrodite. Okay, usually we use the term bisexual for plants. In case of animals, we use the term hermaphrodite. As I said, earthworm, tapeworm, all these come under hermaphrodite animals, where the same organisms will have both the sex organs. Unisexual means the sex organs are present in different organisms. Man is very good example, cockroach is good example. So for unisexual animals, cockroach, human beings, these are all examples. Okay, then so here we were learning about what do you mean by unisexual, bisexual, all these things. In case of plants, the plant having male flowers, only male flowers, they are called staminate. Okay, staminate is the condition where a plant bears only the male flowers. Okay, that is it will have only the anther. Okay, similarly, distillate is the name given to the plants that Plants bearing female flower. Okay, plants bearing only female flower are called pistillate. Plants bearing only male flowers are called staminates. Staminate came from the word stamens. Pistillate came from pistil. You know very well, stamen is the male reproductive organ. Pistil is the female reproductive organ in case of plants. So that's about the gametogenesis part. And concerning the cell division that occurs, the plant body may be haploid or diploid. However, the gamete production is haploid only. Gametes are always haploid. Gametes are always haploid. They have only half the number of chromosomes. Very important. Gametes Gametes are haploid and they have only half the set of chromosomes. For example, if man has 46 chromosomes, but the gametes will have only 23. I repeat again, in human beings there are 46 chromosomes, but the gametes will have only 23 chromosomes. Gamete in the sense, sperm will have 23 and ovum will have 23. Likewise, similarly, if it is a wheat plant, if there are 14 chromosomes, the gametes, pollen grain will have 7 and the ovule will have 7. Likewise, gametes are always haploid. They have only half set of chromosomes, right? So many of the lower plants, especially alga, bryophyte and all, they have a haploid body. And other higher order plants and higher order animals all are diploid. Okay, so most of the animals, including human beings, were all diploid, right? But the gamete is haploid. The gametes arise from gamete mother cell. Gamete mother cell is called meiocyte. CYT, site means cell. That cell undergoes meiotic division. You know very well, meiotic division means reduction division. Reduction division means the number of chromosomes becomes half. So gamete mother cell will undergo meiosis to produce haploid gametes, right? So that gamete mother cell is also called meiocyte. We are seeing all these names because it will be useful for answering one-word questions, right? Meiocyte means gamete mother cell, the cell that undergoes meiotic cell division, right? So coming to the gamete transfer. Okay, whether it's bryophyte or teddyphyte, whatever the lower forms of the plant, they need water as a medium. Okay, so through water only they will travel and reach the egg cell or ovum. Okay. However, see the male is always capable of moving, motile. Okay, and the female is stationary. When this is the condition, when they travel through water and reach, definitely it will lead to failure. And because of that, always male gametes will be produced in enormous. Male gametes are produced in large numbers, whereas female gametes are produced in very less or at least one. Okay, and normally female gametes do not move; it is stationary. Male gametes are motile. You can see very well all the androzoids or bryophyte and tetraphyte are flagellated, so they can swim and reach. So that medium of transfer is water. Okay, so that is how it is getting transferred. Only when the gametes get transferred, fusion can take place. Okay, so in case of angiosperms flowering plants, there is another step called pollination. okay, where the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the stigma is called pollination. And the plant is bisexual, okay, it will happen within the same plant, okay, the plant is bisexual, it will happen within the same plant, and that is called self-pollination. The male and female flowers are in different plants, it will lead to cross-pollination, right? So that's about gametic transfer. So we'll end up with this. Hope you like this video. If you do so, please share, subscribe. The next part of fertilization and post-fertilization will be there in my next video. So again I tell you, please share, subscribe my video. Thank you all. Bye.